little bit for this year's Christmas extravaganza.
We need to stock it up for sure. I was just telling Chase while we just go live here that it's never too early to start working on the Christmas extravaganza 2.0. This last year, even though it's only May, that was a lot of work. We need to be a lot more prepared for this year's Christmas extravaganza.
Oh, for sure. Like actually have lists of things that we're going to give away rather than just, and then try and keep track of it.
You won't stick.
I'm sorry, everybody tuning in early that Brent mentioned the first person on the YouTube channel, and I said that we should give him a Beach RC hat, and Beach RC is officially out of hats. I'm sure it's because of good sales, but also
you officially gave away me out of hats. I gotta get new hats for sure.
Hey, but there's a lot of Beach RC hats running around, so that's a good thing, man.
Yep, Beach RC and Wheel and Trigger hats. So that first person in here was a YouTube listener, watcher, Little Motor 414. He says, nice. Boom, bitches. And I like that because who doesn't like a good old boom, bitches? You know what I mean? Hey. Oh, we got a new audio machine because the last one got fried with the water that came out of my ceiling when we moved into the new studio. So DJ Bronsley over there mixing it up.
One of the new default ones that we have right now, since I haven't had time to switch any of them up, is just
oh hell yeah, that's nice. Gonna get used.
That works. Nice. Well, thanks for everybody that are joining on Facebook. I'm the guy that watches all the Facebook comments, so I want to say what's up to everybody watching. Jason Floyer, Dave Fitzgerald, Evan Roth. What's up, man? Taylor DeLosa, thanks for watching, but keep your mouth shut, buddy. Joey Bordone, he said free racecraft hats for everyone now. So it's not going to happen. I think we only have more than half a handful left. Joey Bordone, what's up, dude? Ryan Petit, Eric Limbaugh, what's up, man? Fran 2, glad you got off work in time. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can see that's watching right now. Thanks for joining in. Ryan Dietrich just joined. What's up, dude?
Hell yeah.
Oh, man.
So how the hell are you?
I'm doing good. I started building a new car on Friday, just kind of picking at it, and just finished it up right before the show, man. I literally just got done with it about an hour ago, and I was ravishing wrench man before that. What's up? What are you pointing at?
It'd be really cool if my finger actually showed
went
up.
Through. Wait, maybe I can do it. Maybe we could do this effect. Hang on.
Other way.
Chase, other way.
What do you mean other way?
Oh yeah, you want
we'll have to try and figure that out. Okay,
I was just pointing at your car.
No. Oh, it's the white one, right?
I know, but
this is so hard, dude.
It is very hard. Dude.
I can never get my sideburns even. I don't know how to do this in the mirror.
Hey, Travis Nesbitt, happy beer Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Coors Light Tuesday, baby.
Well, what do you say we go ahead, drop the disclaimer, the intro, the OneUp in the house, and we get this party started?
Let's do it, man. Thank you, OneUp.
The following podcast is a group of people who will be talking shit, drinking, using cuss words, and living their best lives. The opinions or views expressed do not necessarily reflect the views of their sponsors, supporters, or anyone important outside of the four walls of the show. If you are not 18 or older, we suggest talking to your parents about this podcast before watching it and becoming scarred for life. We hope you will enjoy this and not get butthurt or become a keyboard warrior after taking it all in. Thank you for watching and supporting us on our journey.
What is up? We're live.
What?
If you live
If you want the best titanium hardware for your RC car or truck, then look no further. I'm Randy from OneUp Racing, and you need to check out Pro Duty Titanium Hardware. My screws are super strong and incredibly light, like we're talking nearly half the weight of your kit hardware. Perfect if you're looking to cut weight and boost performance. I've got some of the sleekest and strongest turnbuckles available, super lightweight lockdown wheel nuts, and a line of specialty hardware to take your build to the next level. All designed in-house and made to our specs by expert machinists who know how to make it right every time. You're gonna love it. Pick one up for every build.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. I can never hear those commercials right now. I can watch them. Robert can't even see them.
Really?
I can't hear them. Could you hear it?
Oh yeah, it
You
looks
can see
great.
it and hear it. I can't hear it. He can't see it or hear it. You can get it all.
I just know it's there, like like Jesus. He's just there.
It's just there.
Well, that OneUp commercial is off the charts. Probably the best made RC commercial in history for sure.
Randy
It's so
did a
nice.
fantastic job. Whoever he's using to do his commercials, very, very well done.
Absolutely.
We're already rocking with 93 concurrent people watching right now, which is fantastic. It's not normal for us this early to have this many people. So obviously you're all stoked about Jared coming on. Oh, by the way, Jared Tebo is going to be on the show tonight.
Yes, sir. And ma'ams.
But right now is a great time, if you haven't done so, to share the page. Go ahead and share the video, like it. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, we would love it if you did. We are growing by the week. We surpassed that 2,000 mark last week, Chase. So congrats to us. Wheel & Trigger is growing right now.
That's awesome. And thank you to all the new viewers that are joining in, new and old. We appreciate you watching our shenanigans bi-weekly every Tuesday. And we'd also like to thank our sponsors, OneUp Racing, title sponsor, Promotion Tires, Nitro Pro, Techno RC, J&T Bearing Co., Wolfden, TZO 200 Tires, Get Shit Done Coffee, Beach RC, RC Sign Up, Racecraft, and RC Box Club. If you are a company that's looking to get on this show as well and have your logo on there, we talk about the brands and all that good stuff, give you some solid plugs, reach out to us at wheelandtriggerpodcast@gmail.com or just message us directly.
I like this right here, Chase. JWRC. Been waiting since yesterday.
Nice.
I mean, that is just validation of greatness. I would say that means we're greatness now. People wait. Hold
That's awesome. Well, we do have Jared Tebo coming on, which is RC royalty. So very good guest tonight. Very stoked.
Maybe he'll have something to give away, or you can give away something of his.
Maybe. I don't know. We didn't talk about that pre-show, so I don't want to surprise him with anything he doesn't want to give away. But if he's listening in the background or watching the show while he's eating his dinner, let that be on him.
Yeah, first person to come up with if we can do a good trivia, maybe I'll buy a JTP shirt for him to send out to somebody. So
how about we just do that?
Okay, but I want good Jared Tebo trivia. So we need some Jared Tebo trivia.
But that would be on us to have done some pre-show stuff.
But why would we ever do that?
I don't know, man. I was going to do it, but then I was like, man, I really want to finish my car because I want to go to the dirt and break it in because the TNR Fuel Arena Cross is going on this weekend over there in Norco at the stadium or at the covered arena, man. So building a new car and trying to get it out to the track tomorrow to break it in for that race.
So much going on this weekend. You got the 10 scale off-road Roar Nationals going on at Hoosier. It's gonna be badass. I wish I could be there. I'm so stoked for Eddie. The track looks sick. I know it's gonna be a ripper and there's gonna be some national champions crowned. So I'm stoked about that. And then that race that's going on out there. And next weekend is gonna be the Lone Star out in at Thornhill, the Nats warm up. I mean,
there's a lot going on. But if you're in SoCal, shoot over to Norco. Covered arena. Dirt is insanely good. Insanely good. Food trucks and the biggest raffles I've ever seen in an RC race. So, I mean, always going to be a good time over there. And I think it's my favorite venue that I've ever been to.
Yeah.
I'm just so lucky it's so close to my house. So
how far is that without traffic?
Without traffic, half an hour.
Which means it's 14 hours for him round trip to go to the race at the half hour away. So
that's true. That's true.
there you go.
And then I got a buddy that I work with that promised. He lives in Norco. He's promising to ride up to the race on his horse. So, because it's a horse town, and I was like, "You got to let me ride that thing." So we'll see how that goes.
Well,
I've never ridden a horse that you couldn't like rent to ride a horse. Like I've never ridden like a personal
somebody's real horse.
Like that wasn't like tied to like,
so you rented a horse?
Well, like when you go on like horseback rides and they like tie them.
You talking about like excursions or
I
whatever?
walk like, you know, at barely granny walking with a walker pace. And you're just like, yeah, this is great. Oh man, that was so much fun.
Hurting, dude. You're bow-legged.
Yeah.
You think you can be a cowboy until you get off and you're like, never again.
But I'm gonna might ride a real horse. So we'll see what kind of fun we can have with that.
I hope it's a mini horse, dude. I don't trust you on a tall horse.
We'll see what happens, dude.
Coming back in a sling.
Yeah, who knows? I'm game.
So I sent Robert a video, and I get stuck on videos all the time. And what's so funny is I got sent this video 5 times a day. One time by our good old listener buddy Yoshi. But I get stuck on these videos. You ever watch like the guys that like they dig holes and then they make swimming pools and then like mud the sides and they do, like, you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking about? They just kind of do DIY, but not really doing it correct.
I mean, there's a lot of DIY pools that I'm seeing on the gram now, and it's giving me some ideas for sure.
Well, but the ones I'm talking about are these guys. They're in like maybe the Philippines or Indonesia or something.
The mud on the sides is just a lake.
Yes, but but no, you have to see that. So this isn't one of those videos. However, the first thing I thought of when I saw this video come up today, Robert, can you bring this video up? We are working with new equipment today. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Did you see this video yet?
No. What is this? Is he building an RC car out of sticks?
So all I gotta say is,
that's a diff. That is a diff.
I only hope that when I retire, I have this much time on my hands. I only hope.
Wow. Well, that's like a hot cable thing. Did you see how I cut that pipe?
Look at this. I mean, the dude, whether or not it's real or no, who cares?
What? Universals?
Yes, dude. Like this guy was like, why buy it when I could just literally make everything out of shit I can rob out of the sink of my house?
Man, I hope he's got J&T bearings in there because those are never coming out.
Why don't we just say sponsored by J&T bearings there? And I'm sure there's Nitro Pro servos in it, but
they're coming. They're coming. Oh, threaded chassis. Nobody's ever done that.
Oh, dude, this thing's insane. I mean, this guy was like, I don't want to buy a crawler from Axial or Traxxas. I'm going to make one.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
It's like he uses wedding ring to like tie down the differential. I mean,
oh, wow. Look at that.
Dude.
I mean, it's pretty limited on travel. It's going to be a scale crawler for sure.
Holy moly.
All right, let's keep watching this. I'm digging it.
Okay. We're having a watch party right now.
Yes.
Oh, no.
What happened?
Oh, I thought you said okay.
No. Finish this.
Dude.
Robert tried to cut us all off. So
can you fast forward the fast forward video? I'm ready to see the end product.
I thought it was going to be a Nitro Pro servo, but the guy he went cut rate.
Holy man, he's definitely European.
He's a sticker. Oh, watch this, Chase. Watch this.
What's going on here?
The dude grinds into this piece of steel, and that's where he puts his diff, dude. Unbelievable.
I mean, that's hobby next level. Next level hobby.
This guy was all. Like, are we gonna get to see it run? Like, fast forward it a little bit.
Yeah.
Give us about almost to the end.
Let's see what comes out of this thing. Oh, what is that?
Damn, I didn't get this far.
Oh, who was expecting that freaking thing going on top? Oh my gosh, you put a Ferris wheel on it. What is this thing?
I love this. Pilates.
Oh, what is this? It's diesel powered? What?
Holy shit.
Oh my gosh. All of that for it to go a half mile an hour.
All right.
I mean,
I can't take it anymore.
I don't know if we almost
Wow,
I don't know if we almost ruined the video by watching it to the end.
No, but it was fantastic.
Well, yeah, it was home built, but what he built was pretty freaking stupid. Let's be honest. What are you gonna do with that thing?
I don't know. That's gonna end up in the Smithsonian or some shit, dude. Like, holy
Oh
moly.
my gosh, he built a rolling clock. Good job, man.
That runs off of diesel. Holy moly. New class for Roarnat starting next year. Diesel powered rotary.
Yeah, diesel powered Ferris wheels.
Lee Gray says distillery for whiskey.
Oh man. Well, that was good. Thanks for the entertainment, man.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I watched that. At first, when I saw it, I was kind of like, I'm not gonna like dig into this. It's kind of And then someone else sent it to me. I was like, well, maybe there's something more to it. And I still obviously didn't watch it to the end because it's like 25 minutes long. It looks like. But yeah, that was pretty rad. Nitro Pro says make sure it doesn't have a bruggy body on it. And he's not wrong. He's not wrong. So what's up? Anything new with you?
No, man, just trying to get ready for this this race coming up, and yeah, that's about it.
Sweet.
I mean, for the recent, you know what I mean. But I'll be glad when. I mean, it's always nice to have a new car, so we'll see. I'm a little nervous about how new it's going to be at this race, but we're going to try and get at least half gallon through it at the dirt tomorrow. So we'll see.
My car was new at Worlds, and it's still new.
Nice.
So. Maybe try it out at the RC Pro-Am in a couple weeks. Play around. Well, if we ain't have any racing or anything else to talk about.
Oh, why don't we talk about that famous video with Aiden Horn and and Tater and ripping the mic out of Keenan's hand? I don't know if Keenan's watching, but man, that got some traction. That was quite some drama in the 10 scale world.
Well, it led to some pretty good memes, that's for sure.
Definitely.
I wish I could have seen everything that transpired. I didn't see it all, but yeah, I mean, anytime that you give Aiden Horn the microphone, you don't know what you're going to get. And he let us know how he felt about that kerfuffle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Keenan will eventually be able to tell us all about it, I'm sure.
Hopefully.
What was your what was your take on it though? Did you think that Aiden was whining, or do you think he, like, after everyone just saw him get bitched at by Tater, like it was his moment to be like, no, fuck that, dude, I'm gonna tell you how it is?
I think that's what it was for sure. Yeah. And you know, maybe I don't know what Keenan's doing with his podcast, but I'd hate to be a spoiler alert, but Keenan's the next guest on this podcast. So he'll be the next guest on the podcast, and maybe he'll save that moment and what he was feeling when that was going on for our show. Who knows?
I hope he saves something for our show, because that man's filming like every day.
I know, he's working so hard. He's definitely in it.
I get to see him. I get to see him soon. He will be here for the RC Pro-Am, I believe.
Sweet.
Pretty sure. So stoked about that. Yeah.
Without further ado, drum roll, please.
We don't have a drum roll.
We don't have okay, do we have any noises?
Oh yeah, he's got one.
Let's see it.
Got one.
Let's hear it.
That's not the one. Yeah, there it is.
It's Jared Tebo. Can we bring him in?
Boom.
Yo, what's up, guys?
What up, Jared?
Oh, not too much. Just finished up some dinner with the family and coming on with you guys. Looking forward to this. I haven't been on a podcast in quite a while. I don't know, maybe like 2 years. I'm not sure. I haven't been on one for a while.
I guess the big question is, what was for dinner?
We had teriyaki chicken and some, we call them like crunchy lemon noodles, but we cooked it all on the flat iron grill.
Nice.
So it's like spaghetti noodles with beef bouillon, some lemon pepper, kind of fried up, and
nice.
Yep,
Dang.
chopped up some peppers and put it in there too. It was very yummy.
Nice. That has like at least 14 more ingredients than anything I've ever had for dinner. That sounds good, man. Sounds like a good cuisine.
Yeah,
over
we
at
like
the
Tony
Tebow
all the
house.
time, man.
Yeah. I like to cook and I like to eat. So, you know, I got a new grill for my birthday, and so yeah, we've been using it a bunch. Weather's super nice now, so we've been cooking out there a bunch. It's been fun.
Nice. Yeah, I live on chicken strips and pretzels, pretty much.
No, dude, I see your meal prepping. Stop
And wood piles.
For dinner. I eat good for lunch, but dinner is usually something pretty basic in the air fryer. That's what I'm doing.
I hear you.
What about you, Brent? What did you have for dinner?
So I stopped by Food Lion, which is a grocery store out here on the East Coast. Might be everywhere. I have no idea. And I bought a rotisserie chicken, some mashed potatoes and gravy, and corn. And I brought the girls home some fudge bars and put them in the freezer. So, yeah, I went home, ate dinner, had a little talk with my oldest daughter, and she's taking a new position. And my little girl was next door playing with her friends. So me and my wife ate dinner, and here I am back on the grind.
Nice. Spoiler alert, I haven't had dinner.
Well, cheers to your dinner. So Jared, man, what is up, dude? You've hit the scene hard again. It was Jared's gonna retire. Now Jared's back and right back where you left off, man. What's it like? What's going on with Jared and your race program?
I don't know. The last 2 years have been kind of wild, kind of weird. How everything went. Me retiring, and last year trying to do JTP and going to the races, doing the coaching, and I don't know. It was all kind of mixed, I would say. One side of me was really ready to retire from the racing, just like get away from just kind of the BS and the drama and the stress and all just like the nonsense side of it. And yeah, kind of like halfway through the year, I was like, man, I kind of do miss driving a little bit. And, I didn't. And then the other side of me was like, man, my career ended kind of in a crappy way, and that I didn't really like how that all went. So it was weird doing JTP and not racing. It's just
it's like when in Rome, you're at the track all
year. Yeah,
you're at the track. You might as well throw something down, Yeah,
and I mean, at the track was fine. It was more so at home, just like not really doing anything RC, and then trying to do some marketing or do a little bit, but when I'm doing none at home, it was just an awkward thing. I loved going to the races and not racing. I actually really enjoyed the coaching part and being able to watch, if it was to work out a little bit different to where I could kind of like coach a pro driver or something like that. I loved the pitting side, and I actually really enjoyed being on the other side of it. But it gave me a cool perspective too, where, I see things differently now. And, I was hoping it was going to help my racing more with having a little bit of like the outsider perspective, because a couple of the races where I did help pros, when you're deep kind of in the trenches, you don't really see clear and you don't think very clear. And so when I was on the outside trying to help, I could see clearer, and you could really see the drivers like making poor decisions as far as like tires or setup or driving or like, just racecraft or race management and things like that. And you could see it pretty easily. So I was hoping that was going to kind of help me a little bit this year. But, man, now, like, back in the trenches, I've made some super sucky mistakes. You know, Silver State, I made the dumbest mistake, changing my car a bunch before the buggy final like a complete idiot. And like I said, I was not going to do it all this year. But yeah, so the racing kind of picked up steam super late. I had just kind of a personal person reach out and really push like, hey, you should race. Like, why aren't you out there? You need to be out there, and kind of gave me an opportunity, pushed me a little to see if it was available for me to race. You know, I couldn't really race for free. You know, I have to make a living still and, you know, try to make it work everywhere. So I was at like AMS really, Nicola and then Andrea, the guy from Nova, Nicola from Hot Race. They both kind of approached me and, you know, was like, hey, what can we do to get you back racing? And so, yeah, you know, a couple different people stepped up and, you know, I'm not practicing, I'm not testing as much as I'd like to, but obviously the driving is still there. You know, rusty a little bit as far as just like my mental side. But, man, the driving's super fun. I've been qualifying good. I've been fast. I haven't had, like, a good main event. You know, there hasn't been a main event where I'm like, oh, man, that was a good race. They've all kind of – Silver State and Truck, I was finally having a good race. And I haven't had a tire come unglued in probably 5+ years. I think the last time I had a tire come unglued was 2016.
Wow.
At DNC. So that's more than 5 years ago. And yeah, of course, tire comes unglued when I'm running fifth. So that was kind of a bummer. But, you know, kind of the plus side is, you know, my pay didn't change. Nothing in my life changed, falling from fifth to ninth. So it was cool battling. And it's honestly been really fun to be back up there and be racing and driving. And I think the coolest part for me has been all the people coming up saying that they're happy to see me back driving. You know, I knew I, you know, was kind of a popular driver, had fans and stuff, but, you know, like I'm just a regular person. Like we're all just regular people. And to have so many people come up and be like, man, I really love watching you drive. I was so bummed I didn't get to see you last year, and now you're racing again. That's been the coolest part.
That's
nice,
bad.
man. So you think that break kind of rejuvenated you, recharged your batteries, kind of a reset? Or since you never really left the industry or the track for that matter, how do you feel? Like, are you more stoked on racing now than when you were starting to think about retiring?
Yeah, it's just different. You know, before, I mean, even my last year, 2023 racing, like I had a lot of pressure to win. I still felt that year, I actually felt like I had a lot to prove because, you know, I got replaced by Mayfield at Techno, which was, you know, painful and was a bummer. I didn't want that to happen. You know, so I still like wanted to win races and wanted to be a top driver and be, you know, one of the best drivers out there. And now it's different. You know, I really don't feel like I need to prove anything to anybody. I've won enough races. I literally have zero of that pressure, which has made it a lot more enjoyable at the races. It is weird because I'm competitive enough to
like still be bummed out if you don't have a good
annoying.
race.
Yeah, like it, you know, at DNC and Silver State, thankfully I can learn tracks really fast because I got half the track time as everybody that I'm racing against. Because one thing coming back, I didn't want to race all the classes. I just want to race 2 classes so I can talk to more customers, because the main goal for me is JTP. JTP is number one. You know, basically after last year, it was I need to come back racing and figure out how to make JTP work, or, you know, do what like Ty Tessman did and just completely leave the industry and get a different job. Because, kind of half in, half out wasn't providing enough for my family. So, I took the jump back in to see if it's possible for JTP to support our family. So that's kind of what this year is about. But yeah, like I'm getting so much less track time, and then I'm right on that edge of like battling for TQs or I'm really close. So that's annoying a little bit because like I'm not practicing, I'm not testing and anything like that. But this summer, I think I will. My son Nash, my youngest son, who's 8, he loves driving RC, and so he's itching to get back to the track. So I'm taking him to the track this week, and we're doing a kind of a local big race next weekend, and the whole family's going. Nash is going to race, so hopefully I'll be practiced up a little bit for the nationals and have a good run there. Would be fun.
Nice.
I want to support JTP, and we were just talking about this before we brought you on. And in doing so, I just thought of how we're going to do this, Chase.
How?
Jared, I want you to ask our peanut gallery. That's what we call our listeners because they all have an opinion. I want you to ask them to answer a Jared Tebo trivia question, and whoever gets it right first. Now, I want you to think about this for a minute because we're going to start taking live calls in like 30 minutes. Okay. And once we start taking live calls is when I want you to put out the question. So you got 30 minutes to think about it, and whoever wins, I'll buy a JTP shirt for you to ship to them. I'll pay shipping and everything to whoever it's going to be. So I want to support JTP, and I want somebody to win something that's not mine on this podcast.
Nice. I'll throw in a signed body too with that.
Oh, dang.
I don't even have a signed body for my wall here.
Yeah, we love giving away stuff on this show, man. But I wanted to get back to what we were saying with lack of track time and lack of practice. Do you think there's a point in the program where you're practicing too much, you're doing too much testing, and it burns you out for when you actually get to these races, as far as the wrenching that's involved for rebuilding the cars and everything that goes along with practice? Is there like a regiment that you could recommend to any of the, aspiring races out there as far as a good program to prevent burnout?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, nobody is the same. So it really depends. Like for me, which is funny because I'm building all these kits, but like I hate wrenching. And I
likewise. That's why I was asking, like, when is it
that?
I heard that.
Yeah. So, yeah, that part's tough. Like timing, trying, and like for me during all my, pro career, I never had practice cars and race cars. Anytime I tried that, my practice cars were always awesome, and my cars that I would try to take to a big race just completely sucked. So it was always a tough balance of like practicing a lot, but not destroying my cars, and then not having to completely thrash before a race event to get ready. Because for me, it was really about confidence. I think if you're racing pro class at any races, it's so much about your confidence. So it's figuring out whatever you need to do to like be confident. Some people want to race a ton, drive a ton, like Jared Wiggins. I mean, he drives an insane amount. He seems like he loves to wrench, and like that program works for him. For me, it didn't really work that much to like go to so many races, regional races and stuff, but it was different because I had a family and things like that. For me, practicing was really important. I practiced a lot. The testing part, I always struggled with that. Over testing was really difficult for me because when you drive at the same track over and over and over and over and over, you just automatically get faster and get better. So testing can be really dangerous multiple days in a row at the same track, not going to different places, especially if you're just like basing things off of lap time and not necessarily feel. I did that a lot of times where like I would test a whole bunch and feel like I found this magic, and then go to a race and my car is a complete disaster. And then it'd be halfway through qualifying, I'd switch back to my normal stuff, get back on pace, and then you're kind of struggling at the end. So the testing thing is, you got to find a decent balance. But I think everyone's different. For me, after a big event, I like taking a break, being done, and then I would really feel like going to the track. I would try to go to the track and get a bunch of practice in, and then leave like 3 or 4 days to kind of prep and relax and not drive before I would go to a big race. That was kind of what I liked doing.
Nice.
Who's the hardest working man in RC? Or woman, man or woman? I shouldn't discriminate like an asshole. Who's the hardest working human in RC? Oh, who's the hardest working racer in RC? I shouldn't even. Let's just bring it down to a scale.
That's tough to say, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that you don't see. So that's really hard. Like someone like Mayfield, I don't think he posts when he practices. So you really don't really know. I think the easy answer would be like Wiggins, where he works really hard on like his driving and just practicing a lot. I think Adam is a guy that worked really hard, still works hard at just driving a lot. And I would say, not out of disrespect or anything, but both of those guys maybe aren't like the most super talented as far as like just like the natural driving skills. So they kind of have to drive a little bit more. But like Mayfield's got to obviously be working hard. He's got his stuff figured out. I'll even say Dakota. Like, I don't follow Dakota super close, but I don't feel like I see any posts of him ever practicing. But just from the outside looking in, the last 3 years, I would think he's worked really hard, because he has tightened his program up a lot. It was pretty loose 4 or 5 years ago, engine tuning, cars not finishing, and dude, that guy is like legit at getting his engines tuned, running 10 minutes, finishing races. So he's obviously working hard. I don't know. Lots of the company people are freaking grinding, working hard too. That's been a big wake up call, being on the other side.
Yeah.
Like Rona, a lot of people are hit or miss on Jason Rona. Man, he's been a good friend of mine for like my whole career. That guy works freaking hard.
And it shows. I mean, look at
that guy works hard.
Yeah.
He's like always posting stuff, going to races, doing stuff. I think there's a lot of people working pretty hard in RC, which to make a good living in RC, man, you got to work hard.
Yeah. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's got to be you.
Yeah, you got to grind it hard. And, anyone succeeding, man's working hard. The people that aren't succeeding probably aren't working that hard.
You got to want it. If you don't want it, it shows,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But, I mean, you can want it all day long, but you have to, you got to do something about that want.
Yeah, for sure.
I want a Ferrari pretty bad, but I'm not really doing anything to get a Ferrari right now. So the want doesn't really do me any good.
Yeah.
So as far as the amount of races, do you think the amount of them is just right, or do you think that they're a little I don't know what the word is, diluted with how many races there are going on?
I think it's kind of loosened up to where I think we've gained more races and different drivers are hitting different events. Someone like Rivkin, who really hits a lot of different races, for him, there's probably too many races with dirt 10 scale, carpet 10 scale, 8 scale, off-road, all that stuff, man. There's a lot of races. So I don't know, for someone like Mayfield who's just racing 8 scale, I think there's the perfect amount.
Probably perfect, huh?
Yeah. I mean, there's enough 8 scale races to where you can just race 8 scale and make everybody happy enough to pay all your bills and live your life.
Nice.
You know, you were you had tons of success in 10 scale, and once you went to techno, you pretty much almost quit 10 scale. Maybe the Reedy race one last year they had it. I think you were on techno, but you've basically backed away from the scale. Do you miss it? Do you wish you could do more 10 scale? Was it only because of the car? Because I know that they let people run, other brands if they don't make that vehicle. So like what was it that kind of took you out of 10 scale almost fully at this point?
Yeah, pretty much fully. I mean, the last time I've even driven a 10 scale car was the 2020 Reedy race. Do I miss it? I really, really miss 2011 10 scale.
Why? Like what was 2011?
Really 2025 10 scale.
Just what?
Like the slicks, the design of the cars, how low the ride height is, the way the tracks are. I just don't think it looks very fun. And it was definitely trending on the not that fun to drive and race, when I was still racing it. So to kind of answer your first question, basically when I went to techno, it was, hey, I have to race 10 scale still. 2019, I did all the 10 scale races. I won the Reedy race that year, went to the Worlds and things like that. And techno at the time was pretty interested in doing 10 scale cars, making a new 4-wheel, making a 2-wheel. So that was kind of something that we had talked about. And I would say it got kind of just derailed a little bit early, where we had completely opposite views of the direction that the car needed to go, completely opposite opinions on most of setup things for 10 scale. So that was just a little bit of the struggle. The techno car did not work on high grip. So
it kills it outdoors though. That thing shreds outdoors.
Yeah, for sure. But we just don't race on that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it worked out great for the Reedy race. Had they done 2-wheel first, 4-wheel second, I don't think I would have been able to win. But having 4-wheel first, 2-wheel second, it worked out awesome to where, and even the way the layouts work, because that car, even on low grip, like I thought I was going to do good at the Worlds, but that car didn't turn at all, mainly just because of the caster, which that was a huge disagreement we had, that we just couldn't really see eye to eye on. And so then like 2020, I was planning to do all the 10 scale races, then COVID hit, and basically just the 8 scale races were the only ones that kind of opened up first. And then it kind of just turned into where techno was like, well, we're not going to, pay any travel for you to go to 10 scale races or anything like that. And, it just kind of worked out to where everyone was kind of okay with me just doing 8 scale races. And, I had no interest in like struggling at a 10 scale race and 4-wheel and trying to figure out something in 2-wheel and trying to pay my own way and all that. So, I was just kind of happy to go and race 8 scale, which, I think it hurt my driving. I definitely think racing 10 scale helps just your driving really close, the intensity of it. Obviously Mayfield's making it work really good right now, but for me, I enjoyed racing both. I don't think I enjoyed it as much just fully focused on 8 scale. But my current situation now is basically JTP is more so just geared towards 8 scale, and I'm pretty much at my full capacity right now. I would like to dip into some 10 scale. I'm pretty interested in dipping into the gas truck scene a little bit. I've had so many people reach out to me ask me things. And, I haven't driven a good gas truck in a really long time. And so that's something like I may want to kind of dip into, but right now
you were kind of a part with that Ignite launch, were you not? A couple years back.
I mean, not really. Basically, I just did some testing. So the guy that designed it, Chad Parks, was a good friend of mine. He lived really close. I had zero input on any design or anything. He would just send me ideas like, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Come drive this truck. And, basically that. I had no real input into it, but I did some testing and told him, yeah, that's sweet. No, that sucks. And that's kind of it. So
nice.
We had a question from one of our viewers. I'll post it up here from BJ the Stat Man. Question for Jared: of all your wins over the course of your career, which is the most, I guess, meaningful to you?
Yeah, that one's always tough to answer. The little Nitro Pro video we just did, the guy asked me that, and I said the Reedy race, which in 2019, which is, it's hard not to say like one of my world championships. Like my first world championship in 2007 was really meaningful, just with like all the crap that had gone through in my life in 2005 and 2006, with my mom trying to commit suicide a few different times, my dad going to prison. I almost quit racing, and I learned I had never even worked on a car before that. So like I had to be my own mechanic, and just there was a whole lot of turmoil during that time. And like that one was really, really cool because I proved to myself that I could do anything that I wanted to do in life. I had a couple opportunities to like give up on life and, try drugs or go to drinking or just whatever, give up and be a loser. And I like grinded hard and just figured it out on my own. And to win that Worlds in 2007 was pretty awesome. I was not expected to win. And TQ'd all the rounds, won the first two mains, and just locked that one up. So that one was really, really cool. And then kind of whole other end of the spectrum in 2019, I was kind of on the other side. People thought I was washed up, and I had tied to win the Reedy race a couple times. I had finished second probably 3 or 4 different times, and I never really thought I was going to win that race. And that race is really difficult to win. Like, you have to drive really smart. You have to have your cars working good. You have to be mentally super strong, and you just have to have some luck on your side. And I just never really thought I was going to win it. And, the way that it came down and just the way that it ended up and winning it was really special. And so, I don't know. There's a lot of special wins. The Roar Nats win in 2017 was awesome too. My whole family was there. Kind of same thing. Not expected to win. Didn't really know if I would ever win that one again, and had such a crazy main. I feel like I just drove really freaking good in that main and won. So that one was cool too.
How many national championships and how many world championships do you have?
I have 2 world championship wins. I have a bunch of TQs. I have 5 TQs. A lot of really close. Like I could be like a 5 or 6 time world champion if a couple things just went just a tiny bit different. But yeah, 2 world championships and 17, I believe, national championships.
So the world championships, what you said, one was in 2-wheel?
Yeah, I have 1 4-wheel, which was 2007, and 1 2-wheel, which was 2013.
Sick. Chase, I just want to let you know, Carl Just letting everybody know the truth on this motherfucking show right here. You just bow down to that right there, buddy. Yeah, man, you've had a storied career, and so I obviously, when you did retire 2 years ago, that was a big deal. Just like you said, Ty. When you guys, I don't want to say old guard, but it's basically what it is right now. Like there's a ton of you that are still really, really fast, but some people like want to know when Mayfield and when Tebo, when people aren't going to be taking podium spots, and these new kids like Mason and Fee and Camden Lime, Joey Bourdon, these new kids that have been putting in the work that are coming up. Like what's your thoughts on the new age RC racer and where they're at right now compared to, let's say, your generation, Drake, Mayfield, so on and so forth?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now RC is the most competitive it's ever been. I'll compare it to motocross. I think it's similar to where there's just more people putting in more effort. You go back 2005 in RC, I was really good. Mayfield was really good. Cavalieri was really good. We were still really good, but there wasn't as many people working as hard as we were.
Right.
So the pool's bigger now.
Yeah, I'd say the pool's bigger. Same thing with like how motocross, like Ricky, James, Chad, like those guys were super good, but there wasn't all the other dudes working as hard as they were. And now I feel like, in RC, there's a lot of people working really hard, practicing a lot, testing a lot, doing all the sacrifices that you need to do to be at the top. So it's just a lot tougher, and it sucks for those guys because the guys that like have all the titles and have won all these races are still there. So they're kind of like tying up a lot of the money and things,
right,
for the younger guys, which, makes it tough for sure. But it's hard. It is darn hard to win a race.
You're saying that
RC right now.
You're saying if these kids were 10, 15 years ago, they probably would be at the same point, basically, like some of them. Obviously not.
Yeah, I mean, there's just more people putting in more effort.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yep, and I mean that's like, yeah, it's so close. Like it's crazy. I mean, at Silver State, like my buggy man sucked, but I was still out there. I ran every lap. I didn't have any problems. I ran a couple badass laps in that main. Laps. But dude, like I just legit finished. I don't even know what I finished, 14th or something like that. Like I think I beat.
Well, it's like the whole
main
could win. That's what's crazy about the main.
I wouldn't go that far, but
close.
You take that to like 2005. Like, man, if I did a 45-minute main, pitted at 9 minutes, finished every lap, like that's a podium finish.
Yeah,
it's not finishing 14th, 3 laps down, looking like a squid out there.
Do you think that there's like an overall favorite of these young guns that is like the next one? Is there somebody that we ask this question to most of the old guard that comes in here, like who do you think?
I mean, it's tough who to say young. Like, Mason obviously is the next guy that's gonna, like, I would say, win a world championship, start sweeping races like what he did at Silver State. I don't really consider him young. Like, I raced Mason when he was 7 years old. Like, I've known that family for a long time. So in my head, he's not like an up and comer or anything like that. He's been grinding. He's been putting the work in. He's been wildly bettering his craft. Silver State, that could have happened a couple years ago. I'm super happy that it finally happened. Like, I really like those guys. I like Mason a lot. I fully respect what he's doing out there. I think he's the next guy that's gonna, like, do what Dakota's done, do what Mayfield's done, do what I did 20 years ago.
Yeah. I don't think anybody would disagree with you, man.
I agree.
Yeah, as far as like someone that's young that still like hasn't really done it, I think Fee would be my guy. You know, I hope John hears this, but John holds Fee back. He's a hot freaking mess with working on the cars. And I think if they can get that figured out a little bit more to where Fee can have more confidence and more belief in his car and just like a little bit calmer of a track experience, I think he can seriously win some races. He's wildly skilled, has good racecraft, is smart on the track, doesn't, you know, he gives up a pass when someone tries passing him. He sticks it in there when he knows he can stick it in there. He knows how to race. If they can clean up their car situation a little bit, he's going to be the next guy that's going to win a lot of races too, I think.
I think that's fair.
Well, fun fact, I've been in a main with you, Jared, at the Hot Race GP.
At when?
Hot Race GP at Channel
Islands. There you go. There you go.
I made the main for that, and I was in a main with you, dude. I think you only lapped me like 47 times, but I was there.
Nice. That was a fun race, man. That track was sweet. I'd love to go back there.
Yeah.
Only race I know I can make a main with Jared Tebo would be is if he entered the Fireball 500 at the Masters of Dirt, and then I could put myself in that race just to say I was in the race.
Yeah, that Hot Race GP was crazy. I mean, that was the year that like you and Battier was there, like all these crazy dudes were there, and I was just like looking on the driver's stand, like, what the heck am I doing here? But hey, we're going for it.
Hey, we all got a race on the same track, man. That was a fun race for sure.
Definitely. Well, we're almost at the 1 hour mark. Just wanted to give the heads up for that.
Here's what we do right now, Jared, because we've already initiated this challenge for you to come up with a great trivia question. We are going to play the brand new, which you already mentioned one time, the brand new Nitro Pro, which is a great sponsor of ours, video that is also very well done. We were complimenting OneUp and Randy Castor on his videos earlier because they're just wildly amazing. But Drew and the Nitro Pro crew has come out with a new video. Thank God, because the last commercial was just fucking hideous. But we're going to play his new one. And by the time we get back, Chase and I probably got some beer piss to put out. You come up with that trivia question. We're going to give some shit away, and we're going to take some calls from the peanut guy. Are you good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that. I forgot all about the questions, so I gotta think up of a good one. I don't want to make it too hard, but I don't want to make it too easy.
Don't make it too easy, please. And by the way, you have 54 seconds to figure it out.
When people say that I'm a hard person to know, I tell them that I'm not like an ordinary world. I have my madness. I live in another dimension, and I don't have time for things that have no soul.
I beat Chase back. That's not hard to do. That video is awesome. Good job too.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah. Good job.
We got a social media guy for Nitro Pro, and so we're gonna be coming out with a bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm stoked for Drew. Stoked for the company. It's a great brand. One of our best-selling brands that we do at Beach RC. I know that you're heavily tied with the Nitro Pro family with Servo's Fuel.
Yeah.
batteries, whatever else you guys are working with, and that's great. You're a great ambassador for that brand, all the brands that you're part of. We've worked together in the past. Anyone should be stoked to have you as part of it. So, but that video, Drew needed that because the last one, like I said, was a pile of dog shit, and he knew it too. He knew it.
So, I missed it.
You missed the whole. Well, you go back and at the.
I was in it, so it was pretty good.
Dang, awesome. No, like I tried to get up really quick, and my headset wire got all tangled up in my chair, and I lost a good 8 seconds of my restroom break on that one. But Brent usually does this. He'll just take off at random times. But before we get into the live calls, I want to talk about how awesome you are outside of RC and all the cool stuff you do with the mountain biking and taking your kids to the skate park and doing all that stuff, because I relate to that very heavily, and I think it's freaking awesome. And you absolutely send it on your bike, like big, like way big, dude, like scary big, like big stuff. It's rad. And you're riding like street gaps and doing wild stuff. Like, how fun is that for you?
It's really fun, yeah. So I have like a pretty big two-wheel background. That's kind of how I got into RC, was motocross background. So I was, I would say, pretty skilled motocross racer. Wanted to be pro motocrosser before I got into RC, but injuries and stuff, and then rode a bunch after. Did BMX my whole life, and yeah, I needed to get off of dirt bikes. Just my feet are pretty bad. I've shattered both my feet a couple times. They're both fused. Got a bunch of metal in both of them. Damn. And so I needed to get off of those. And yeah, found mountain biking, and man, I love it. It's low impact. It's I say it's safer than dirt bikes, but I can get hurt out there.
Sure. You can get wrecked. I mean, I rode mountain bikes pretty heavy too, and you can get absolutely destroyed on them.
Yeah, for sure. But I would say my mountain biking skills are, above average, and
pretty top tier, local top tier average. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, rip, dude. You rip.
And it's super fun. I absolutely love it. I wish my kids loved it a little bit more. They're hit or miss on the bikes. It's a battle for me right now. They like sports, and I'm just like, man, let's go ride bikes, So I'm trying not to push it on them too much, but it's funny. My son Cole, he's just an interesting personality, and it's like everything you ask him to do anything, it's no. So you always have to push him. So I just got to push him a little bit more to ride. But it's super fun. It's something that makes me stay in shape, want to eat healthier, keeps me feeling young. I'll go and ride all day, and then I come home or use a restroom. I look in the mirror, I'm like, whoa, who is that dude with all that gray freaking facial hair? I feel young when I'm on the mountain bike, and it's something too, just learning new skills and challenging yourself is just good. It's good for the mind. And
definitely,
last year I actually, it was a weird year with retiring and whatever, but I progressed a lot as a mountain biker, and I did a couple of things that I never thought I would do. A couple features that me and my friends looked at and talked about. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing that. And like
some serious gaps.
Yeah, I did some
big gaps.
You know how it is with the skating. Like anything you video looks lame.
Yes.
Well, if it looks kind of cool in a video, it's pretty freaking rad in person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And the new thing I'm into is stair gaps.
Yeah.
So anytime I'm cruising through a city, I'm looking for stair gaps. And those are really fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't want to crash on any stair gaps. So hopefully that doesn't happen.
The concrete definitely hurts as a skateboarder. I definitely know that.
It all hurts, man.
There's no sliding. There's no sliding. Dirt is hard too, and it scrapes you. Concrete doesn't scrape you like dirt does with twigs and pebbles and all that stuff. You get gashed up.
Yeah, the mountain biking, the rocks suck. I've had a couple falls in some rocks, which is a bummer. So I normally keep my mountain bike crashes to one every couple years. So I'm probably I don't think I really crashed last year, so I might be due for one this year. We'll see.
Nice.
I took a decent digger with Walker, actually, Spinrad in Windrock in 2023. So just like the weirdest random crash, like traversing on a trail at Windrock on downhill bikes, not really paying attention, clipped the rock, knocked my bars into like this cliffside and just like over the bars onto my back instantly. I didn't even know what happened. So, which
gnarly.
Those are always stupid crashes.
Yeah, bike crashes suck. I've had my share. So motorcycle and bike. So I kind of don't want to relive those. I've kind of moved past the pain side of my life. I think I'm just going to be an old. I'm finding that for myself right now, because of the bad wrecks and stuff I've had in the past, that my body likes to stay folded up when I get out of bed. For whatever reason, I cannot stand up straight for like the first 15 minutes of my day. And I'm getting so old, and my back is so just broke from the years of torment and of sports and racing. And I don't wish anything different, but I just wish that this wasn't the current scenario. So
yeah,
I feel like I've found that I feel worse. Like I feel older when I'm not out skateboarding or doing stuff as much and eating crap a lot. Like
that's what I was just gonna say. You might need to find something like, because that I feel the same way. Like I haven't ridden in 3 weeks, and dude, my legs hurt, my back hurts, my shoulders hurt. But if I ride like every 2 or 3 days, I feel pretty darn good.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I feel super sucky if I don't do anything. Just like everything just hurts.
I think I'm gonna ride my golf cart.
Something, but I didn't.
I'm gonna drive my golf cart every 3 days. Maybe that'll help.
There you go.
There you go.
My little girl, we got these 9-bot scooters. We ride around the neighborhood. I everything's motorized in my house. I take that back. Even though the boat's motorized when we go out on the water, I do a lot of swimming, a lot of 20-ounce curls while we're on the water. So
there you go.
pretty active on the water.
You know,
those are lighter the more you do it too.
They do, man. It's crazy. And they sell them everywhere. It's tough. It's tough. You know, one of my first memories of you, Jared, I don't know, you have to remember this, but back when RC Car Action was an actual magazine, one of my first memories, I've been doing RC off and on my whole life, but was seeing you win a race at a fairground, and you won a dirt bike.
Yep. Yeah, the
I remember that. I remember that picture.
2008.
Yep, I remember that picture. You're doing like
actually.
I don't know what year it was.
Yeah, it was in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, right by where HRCR is.
Nice.
At the fairgrounds there in Coeur d'Alene.
Yep, that was one of my first memories of you, man. And I thought it was cool that in RC magazine there was a dude doing a skid out on a dirt bike that he won for an RC race. I was like, man, this stuff might be pretty cool. Might be down for this.
Yeah,
it's not all just nerds in a field.
All right, so here we go. Here's the deal. I'm about to put up the phone number. I want to give everybody a chance to hear this statistical anomaly. I want to know what the trivia question is before we put the phone number up. Well, and once we put this phone number up, we're going to take calls, and we're going to take calls. We don't know who's going to call.
This is going to be tough. I'm going to actually bring something over, and that's for the trivia.
Okay. I like it. Hey, Chase, we're getting visual trivia. Dude, this is
trivia.
This is even better than I could have imagined.
Oh, man.
So, This is a gas truck, straight off the track, 2006. This is actually the first kit. I'll sit down. The first kit that I ever built my entire life. So this truck actually means a crap ton to me. But some people will know. Sorry, it's not in the shot. my gas truck days, I ran my antenna through the back and through my spoiler. And I ran it like this for a long time. And it was for a specific reason, for something that happened at a specific race. So if somebody, and I've talked about it at different times.
Ooh, I like it.
So someone's got to tell me why my antenna is like this and what race was it that caused me to do this.
Nice question.
And Chase cannot give that truck away to the guy that gets it right. I'm throwing it out there for all you people that are thinking Chase was going to start saying gas trucks for everyone. That's not going to happen. Right, all right.
But I'll throw in the sign body. I don't know what it will be off of, but I got a box full of them.
Okay, callers. So if you call in and get this question right, Wheel and Trigger is purchasing a JTP shirt for you guys at full price. No 50-50 deals here. We're going to buy it at full price. Full shipping, and yeah,
whatever you advertise on the website at 10 p.m. Eastern time right now.
Does like a Louis Vuitton with a Sharpie on the tag. These are Louis Vuitton JTP shirts. And
First
then
person that can answer both questions right wins a shirt of their choice, not a hoodie, a t-shirt. Come on, guys, we're podcasters. Yep. And a signed body.
That's going to be a tricky one. I don't know if anyone's going to get it.
I don't know if it's
people out there that know it, but I don't know if they'll be listening right now.
Well, if no one gets it, when we have 15 minutes left of the show at what would be 10:45 Eastern time, we'll let you do a cupcake question and let some kind of cupcake answer come through for someone's going to win it.
I was just going to comment that. Ricky Robbins, if you can pull that comment up, someone tried to pull start it. I was at a 5th scale race at Good Old Boys, and I went on right after Sportsman 5th scale, whatever they were running, and my car flamed out, and a dude literally pulled my fuel tank puller thing like it was a pull start and ripped the whole thing out of my car.
That is special, dude.
I mean, I remember back in the day, like when I started in '99, dude, lots of people had pull starts, especially on gas trucks. There'd be people out there pull starting them during the main, you know?
But man, it was so funny. I couldn't even be mad, you know?
Yeah.
That is pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's classic right there.
No one pulled it like a pull start. That wasn't the case.
Okay, so that one's out.
All right, so I'm
trying to think of the reasons why you would do such a thing. I can't wait to hear the answer.
Yeah, well, we do have a caller. It looks like Robert's got him ready. Just give him 1 sec. He's going to patch him through here, but we do have our first attempt at
and
this.
I want to warn you, Jared, we get some pretty wild callers, so just
I did ask him in a private text message when we were talking back and forth before the show, I don't know, a couple days ago, and I said, have you ever watched our show before? And he's like, no, not really. And I was like, okay. And I kind of inside giggled a little bit because I have no idea, we have no idea. We do have some great characters that call in here, people that listen to the show every week. So you might get bombarded with something that we're not expecting, or you might get someone that's literally trying to answer your question.
Hey, I'm up for it all, man. It's all good for me. I just don't watch podcasts. I have never actually watched an RC podcast.
It's okay. Like we don't discriminate. I rarely pay attention to anything else either, other than what I have to, because there's so much going on. If you're anything like me, you got your family, you got your work, you've got travel. Like it's hard to find the extra time unless you have just some downtime or travel time. But
yeah.
I've never watched one either. I'll listen to them in traffic. I sit in 3 to 4 hours of traffic every day, at least at work. So I'm always listening to stuff.
All right, we got a caller. Let's bring him in.
All right, caller, you're on the air.
Joey C. Is that the Joey C?
Hello, Joey C.
I'm not sure.
You're about to lose your chance at winning. Going once.
He wouldn't know anyways. It didn't happen in his track.
All right.
Joey, the ghost of
Joey.
C.
All right, next person, call in. That's the first person that didn't get it right.
Actually, Joey C, the Joey C we're thinking of. If he tries calling back, definitely let him through.
No, of course. I mean, he's got to.
I'm letting Robert know because I can guarantee you. Robert, do you know who Joey C is? That's our producer.
No,
Robert.
He would only know him from the night we had him on.
No.
Do you know who Joey C is, Robert?
No.
Okay, so that's why I said that.
Okay, so
thanks, Robert.
I doubt it was him. We're good. All right. So what's next?
No disrespect to you, Joey. I mean, Robert, but I know you don't know, so it's okay.
Or the Joey C. That's not the Joey C. we're talking about. No disrespect. No. Tebo, what is your next race? Where are you off to next?
My next race is the Nitro Mania that Chris Brent's putting on
Nice.
down at Chicken Dinner Raceway. So
Great name. Great name of a track, by the way.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a chicken coop right behind it, so that's why it has that. That's why it has that name.
And those graphics look cool too.
Literally,
I like that. I saw the flyer.
Middle of nowhere, like you can't even like address it. It's a pretty cool place.
I think that race is going to be awesome. I know Chris has been working hard at it. I didn't see the new announcement. I saw he posted something yesterday or the day before saying that something's going to be great or something like that. I can't remember exactly what.
It's the layout. The layout got finished.
Is the layout?
He went out and did it, and yeah, I mean, man, hats off to Chris. You know, he's working his tail off. You know, just it's a bummer just the weekend that it's on. I think, you know, Thornhill race is going on. There's a race at Shaw's. It's Memorial Weekend.
Yeah.
I'm missing Bentonville Bike Fest to freaking go pay to go drive RC cars, but I told Chris I'll support his race. I'm giving up a whole weekend of mountain bike riding.
So Bentonville, for people that don't know, Bentonville, Arkansas, their bike fest is like they've made that town almost exclusively for mountain bikers. Like that place and climbers. Like you can do so much cool shit in Bentonville. Home of Walmart, by the way. But that town is made. Not only they're the home of Walmart, the owners of the Denver Broncos. Like it's just a great thing, great place. I think I want to go to Bentonville for.
I enjoy Bentonville, and it's even suckier because the freaking RC track, and I'm literally 45 minutes from Bentonville.
Oh, that makes it tough.
I can't be there riding.
It makes it almost too far to like dip out.
I know. Yeah.
It's close enough that you want to be there, you know? You're just like.
I may just hit one qualifier, tell Megan to keep Nash's batteries charged. I'm going to go ride on Saturday.
That'd be awesome. We got him back?
Yeah.
All right. Looks like we got him back. Maybe it was on our side. I don't know fully because we are working with new equipment. All right. Let's bring him in. Joey C., you there?
Joey C., you should be back.
Oh, fuck.
Check.
Robert. Jesus.
Are we not going to be able to take callers?
Like a professional production over here.
Well, the backstory is he had a flood in his new studio and it killed all of his equipment. So this is the trial run of all the new stuff.
We moved into our new warehouse, Jared, and we were setting up the studio. We've been in here for 2 weeks. Something happened with the air conditioner. It backed up. It wasn't pulling out the water. Literally, I'm telling you, an ocean of water fell on all of my sound equipment. And so we just got this new equipment in. Robert hadn't been able to get down here. We just got it in this week, yesterday, and he's setting it up today. And just there's probably a button or a knob not right yet, but yeah, dude.
Okay, well then maybe we should just resort to comments for the winner if we can't take callers.
All right.
Is there a way? Remember when we were doing the Christmas show? Was there a way that we could filter the comments so that we know which one was the winner? Remember what we did with the Christmas show?
I'm the wrong guy to ask, bro. I sit on this side of the microphone.
We did something so that we knew what comment was coming
whatever
in order.
we did, we didn't do it great because sending out the gifts for everybody was so terrible. I don't know exactly. We have got to do better. By the way, we started off the show by talking about we're already thinking about Christmas Extravaganza 2.0, and it's going to be amazing. I just hope that we don't fuck it up because that's on us. I know we're going to have a great show.
Okay. I'm going with
live stream comments are a disaster to try to go through. I don't know what it is, but it's like you can't.
I'm going off of Facebook here.
Oh,
we have Evan Roth said somebody RC shot put with Tebow's antenna, whip and truck. Sounds like a good time. I don't know.
Well, that's wrong.
No?
I'm going to just go out on a limb without Tebow answering. That's wrong.
Okay. Now we've got Dane Dangler. A dog grabbed his truck by the antenna and took it off. It was at Nationals that year.
That year. No.
I like the fact you recognized the vagueness of the answer. That was great.
Okay. All right. Well, you got me. Well, you also ended with or maybe not.
All right. So what about Carl's comments? It's so as a receiver could see who was coming up behind him.
Yeah, there's a little camera back there.
Oh, speaking of which,
I think I made it too hard.
We didn't do anything about products or anything, Chase, but I did see that. Oh shit! Oh.
Can you check the YouTube comments?
Oh, what's his name? What is his name? Oh shit! I'll bring it up next show. There's a new product, but it has something to do with antennas and lighting up and all that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw those.
Yeah,
I saw those.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I'm not digging it.
I mean, if there's only one out there, it's like, oh, that's pretty badass because you can see your car. If 15 nitro buggies have it, you're like, what fucking car's mine? You know, another thing to throw you off. So I don't know.
Cool.
All right. Oh, here's Joey.
I'm not feeling it for myself.
Here we go. Joey Carlson. Well, since you guys can't hear me in the call, I guess I'll answer here. Gas truck gnats, antenna tube broke since it was exposed and ruined the antenna.
Nope.
Too vague, Joey. You need a little bit more, like a year and something else. Not right.
All right. I'm going to give a little hint. It happened at Hot Rod Hobbies.
Oh, we're getting closer.
But you got to at least name the year and the event. And something specifically happened.
Joey said you already named the year, but I must have
I
like
did
been
not
thinking.
name the year.
Yeah, I didn't think you did.
I think. Well, I guess I'm not eligible. Never mind. I could guess, but I don't know the year.
I don't know.
Running his antenna like that was his patented trademark from the 2006 Nationals.
It was before that.
Oh, okay.
2006 was like almost at the very end of Gas Truck.
Well, did you see the length on that thing? That thing was like a good 1.5 feet long.
Did it have a ball on the end? Could you tow anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
Not getting close.
Dude, length matters back then. You know, you had to get that good reception.
Length still matters.
I'm thinking you flipped over, turn marshal went to grab you, stepped on the antenna, ripped out the tube, it got tangled in your wheel, and ripped your antenna out of your receiver.
You threw your hands up on the driver's stand. Marshall got pissed, threw your truck like a frisbee, and that's why you did it.
And then there went the Airtronics, whatever you were running. Whatever model. GoPro Pro something.
You're half right. It started good. It went ugly towards the end.
Dang it.
Oh, wow. We're getting close, dude.
Okay, Randy Romanek says it got hooked on another truck during the race.
No.
So it happened with the turn marshal.
Yep.
Stepped on it.
Yep.
Ripped the tube out.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Dang, dude. Just keep throwing stuff out there. He'll keep saying yes.
All right, so now all we need is the year, folks.
Yep. Year and race.
Ooh.
And I think I made a comment actually
The
about
year was 2003 at the Nationals. Oh man, Steve Wall.
Nationals was never at Hot Rod Hobbies.
Oh wow, blew it.
I made a comment recently somewhere. This was the race that Mike Reedy gave me my first paid contract.
Oh wow.
Yep. I'm the last person still racing that got a contract from Mike Reedy. Well, actually, Neil Craig, probably. Neil Craig and me are probably like the only two people still racing that got a contract from Mike Reedy, which is pretty cool.
While we're waiting for new answers, here's a good question from a listener, Corey Trump. I know this is an odd question, but is 20%, 9% a good fuel to use for engine braking?
I always just used my normal fuel that I would race with. I have heard people use that to break in, but I don't know. I've just ran the fuel that I would race with.
Okay. Antenna tube came off at Hot Rod Hobbies. Wire got stuck in sexy guy's leg. He pulled his leg off. Chase mounted the leg in the grease crap room. Little before that time.
I was wondering why that antenna was hanging off that leg in there.
Yeah.
Golly.
Tebo, which is a great answer. Thank you for
sign
that
antenna.
He didn't actually get in a motorcycle wreck. He tripped over my antenna tube. That's how he lost his leg.
Oh man. So so Nitro Mania was next, then I assume right after that your next race is Roarnats.
Yeah. Yep.
Are you going to be making it to Wicked Weekend?
Yes.
Are you going to attend the Beach RC race party?
Possibly.
Nice.
I think I did last year.
No, that's not a no.
Yeah, I think I did last year.
Well, I wasn't there last year.
I'm trying to get my whole family to go to Wicked because we're trying to see. So, kind of like I said, this is like a trial run for JTP, see if it works. And I'm like on the end of all I can handle myself. So my wife is actually going from 3 days to, she works right now 3 days a week. She's going down to 2 days starting in June. So she can work 1 day with JTP. And we're thinking if it keeps on this trajectory that starting in January, she's going to possibly work full time for JTP, hopefully. And then when we go to all the races that I go to and set up, that the whole family will go so that her and the kids can kind of run the store, because that's kind of a mess when I'm at these races. Is like I'm trying to race and I'm never sitting at my tent, so people can't buy things unless I'm sitting there type thing. So
yeah, it's tough, man.
To get everybody to go to Wicked Weekend to do a little trial run, but not sure if she can get the Monday off of work. So.
And that's honestly why I stopped selling, like putting up a booth at races for Racecraft, because it was just it was too much trying to juggle them both.
Oh yeah, this year freaking P&B was insane. I was just I
mean, it's great because you're selling stuff, but you're like eyeballing your car over there while you're talking to somebody, and you're like, oh, I really need to change shock oil, but you can go ahead, it's tough. And I'd rather go to the races and
change a diff or something, because I would like get a screw out. Oh, can I help you with something? And just back and forth. But I got to do a better job too of just kind of getting some more people. It's kind of funny. Like I need some people to kind of pit with me and be kind of part of JTP, but I don't really like reach out, so people don't know. And I don't know. It's just a little weird. I gotta get a little bit better with my growing my team a little bit, having some people that kind of represent JTP a little bit better, and then having more of a presence at the events. Even if I had a couple people that could kind of help me at the races would be a big benefit. But I mean, I've always kind of dreamed of my family going to all the races. And my son Nash, he loves RC, man. If he could like race at some of these races, it would be awesome. He's still a little bit too young, but if JTP like kicks off and keeps going this way, and like we can actually do it, and it supports us, like that's kind of the dream, is all of us go to the races, and we can have some road trips and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely the road trips and the family time is going to be there for sure. That'd be sick.
So the problem. How old is Nash?
He's 8.
So the problem is, in 10 years from now, everybody's fucked. So all you guys that are coming up, just start winning races, because you don't have a lot of time. 8 years goes by real fast. We're breeding another world champion.
Hey man, I won my first race at 13, so
5 years, guys. You guys
there's a lot. There's a lot going on with having a booth and trying to race. It's definitely tough. I mean, especially because we didn't have a point of sale, so everybody would have to pay in cash. I would use that cash and be like, "Hey, let's throw a party," and then
this is how we met. So does the tax man if it was
like, why don't we have any money?
Because we spent it on a little tub, a little blow up pool, and ice and a lot of Coors Light.
Yeah, that's what everybody had a good time, and that's what we're
on them 20-ounce curls.
Yeah,
man, I've been listen. I got a lot of work to do. I've kind of been slacking lately. My wife quit drinking, which makes it very hard to drink, and not everybody drinks. It's okay. I don't even drink. I really only drink when I'm here at the races. Like, I don't drink at home. But now that my wife doesn't drink, it makes it much harder. Like, I'm getting flabby right here. I need Drew Singer to step in. We need Drew. I'll see you at the RC Pro-Am. We need to practice our 20-ounce curls, buddy.
Is that when? That's not next weekend. It's the weekend after.
It's the last weekend of May.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, totally open for you to just come on out and have a good old time, and possibly win some money. Never know.
Yeah. I need to come out. I don't know if I could do it right now, but
Fall Brawl, first week of December. That'll be another good one.
Notice maybe I can do it a different time. Would be cool. I like the idea of that race. Yeah, it seems sweet.
It's a good time, man. We do the draft party. Everyone has a good time. Then it really comes down to working with each other. I think you would actually do really good at it, because you've already had, the time working with other drivers and stuff. A lot of the pro drivers, I would say, are a little more, I don't want to say standoffish, but it's not like they seek out to help people. And that this race is meant to try to bridge a gap, and it's a good time for sure. It's one of those ones where if you take advantage of it and you succeed at it, not only is it gratifying, not only does it help your sponsors, but it also could put a little bit of money in the pros' pocket. So
we used to do a thing at the Hot Rod Hobby Shootout that Jimmy Babcock used to have. And I don't remember what they called it, but basically all the rookie drivers would be teamed up to the drivers running like Mod 2 Wheel. And we would help them through their qualifiers and stuff. And then we would do some type of race. I think they would just race, but like we would work on their cars, or they could drive our car or something. And like if they, and then I don't know, whatever finish they had plus our finish, whoever won, like the pro got some money and they got a trophy, and it was super cool.
Rad.
I definitely enjoyed that.
Kind of the same thing going on with that Pro-Am. It's a fun race for sure.
Sweet.
The RCGP, when we had them at the Badlands, they did I forget exactly what they called it. It wasn't the Joes versus the pros, I don't think. I know that Keenan could, and maybe we'll talk about it in a couple weeks with him, but they did something similar, and it was more just for a one event deal. They just picked a non-RCGP racer. It was like from the lower level. I forget what they call that too. But they let them drive the pro cars, and then they went out and they drove the amateur cars, and it was cool to see that. It's always good. I still think to this day that there's still a gap to be bridged by the pros and the guys that want to be pros, and they look up to you guys. And in this industry, it's kind of I mean, we hide out in trailers or under tents and in rooms. Like it's very impersonal. And the more that I think that the pros can be seen and be helping people, it goes a long ways. But I also understand, being in the position that I'm at, that you also have you're racing for your living. And that's also a major part of it, where people have to understand, like, they're serious. The pros are serious. They have to go out there and perform, because that's how they make their money. So, there's a little bridge, there's a little gap there that needs to be bridged, as I said.
Yeah, but I mean, name one industry where you can go talk to a pro and ask them something about whatever. Like, I don't know. I think RC is like the most open of anything. I mean, you can't go up to Eli Tomac's mechanic and ask him what spring rates in his fork or how much fork oil he has. Like, you'll never get that answer.
Right.
You probably can't go up to some golfer and ask what type of club or I don't know anything about golf clubs, but there's got to be set up things on something.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. RC's open, especially now. RC is so wide. I'm going to go on the other side. I think RC's too open. I think the pros and people help too much to where now people are too afraid to learn stuff on their own. And
that's a good point.
It was a lot different when I started. Even teammates, like, I couldn't ask my associated teammate what shock oil he had in. Like, he wouldn't tell me.
Wow.
And, like, that was pretty normal. Like, people didn't help each other back then. And it was like, you did your own stuff. You figured your own stuff out. There's setup sheets everywhere that are pretty darn accurate. I'll say now, like, setup sheets are pretty stinking accurate. There's not really people putting fake setup sheets out, which that was super common, 15 years ago, 10 years ago. The setup sheets that you would see, like, weren't real. It's all pretty open, and I'm on the other side. I think it's a little too open.
Yeah. So do you, on the setup sheet situation, oh man, I was reading something. I just totally went blank when I was trying to ask a question. So I'll remember it when we're on a totally different subject. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was a good question too. It was probably going to break the internet, whatever it was. I was going to ask.
About setup sheet.
Oh, jeez, what an ass. Robert, did you say someone on the phone?
I think your question was too hard.
It was too hard.
It's a great question for sure, but I think it was a little too hard.
Yeah, I'll answer it for everybody, just like on the edge of their seats wanting to know. It was 2001 Reedy truck race. So I TQ'd. I got my Mike Reedy contract the night before, and I was leading the main, flipped over. Marshall stepped on my antenna. It was, pulled out, dragging around. I think it did actually get in the wheel. My dad was freaking out. So I did a pit stop, and he taped it to my roof of my car. He had some electrical tape, and he like balled it up or something and taped it to the roof of my car. And I won the main and beat Kenwald. It was like a sweet race between me and Kenwald. And, after that race, he was like, well, that's never going to happen again. Why do we have this stupid antenna sticking way out? So he tucked it through and ran it through the back wing there. So when my truck was upside down, it couldn't ever get stepped on.
Nice.
But you still to this day run a vertical antenna tube.
I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, but it's like 4 feet shorter. If it's lower than
and there's really nothing even like there's not that much in there anyways. Like it could get stepped on and pulled out and you wouldn't even know.
Right.
Yeah. I just got the new Fly Sky stuff and it has a receiver with an antenna. And I was like, oh man, I gotta pick out what color antenna tube I'm gonna run, like
I've gone the short antennas or whatever. I don't know. It's just kind of my trademark. I like having an antenna stick out. And The problem is if you run it too short, anytime you crash, it's always bent.
Yeah.
So you have to have, there's like a magic length to where they don't get kinked and bent.
Okay. What is the magic length, Jared? Go ahead. Just tell us all. We need to know.
I mean, I don't really have it measured. I'd have to go measure it. It's funny, my antenna tubes, I probably have the same antenna tubes in my two cars. Unless there was like a car that I kept, like these are probably still like from my Kyosho days.
Well, I was just about to say the best antenna tubes have always been the Kyosho antenna tubes.
Yeah, that's what I have. They're the Kyosho white ones. When I knew like I was gonna be leaving, I think I ordered all of the white ones that they had. I ordered like 10 packs.
So you should sell the JTP signature 6 and 7/8 inches.
Yep.
Antenna tube.
Probably right around there, you know.
The golden length.
Oh, I remember what I was going to ask you about setup sheets. Do you think that people are willing to put out their setup sheets because they say, hey, if you can beat me by driving, so be it? Like, is it more about like, you can't come out here and beat me even if I give you my setup sheet? Is that why people post them? Like almost legit?
Well, it's also a requirement.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff
going
on behind the scenes to push them out.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked posting mine, and I was on that. Like, I'm not gonna hide anything. I never hid anything because I wanted to beat someone because I could outdrive them. It didn't really. I was always more on the driving side than like I outsmarted somebody with the car setup. I definitely out-practiced people, and I just driving talented a lot of people. I never out-tested somebody or out-set up, had the perfect setup on my car. That was never really me. Some people try to hide some things, but I think right now people are pretty open, and I would say people just – it's just different. It's just different than how it was back in the day. People are, more friendly. Everyone kind of talks with each other, and, we all have a pretty good respect for each other. And, I think also it's just more of the norm to where the companies are demanding people to, share their setup sheets, and they're wanting them to be more accurate than maybe they were in the past. And it is tough, like you do have to fib sometimes, and it's not like you don't want to, but a lot of times there's not, like Techno, for example, the Mayfield and Wiggins, they've had those incline spindles for like a year and a half, but they couldn't put it on the setup sheet.
Right.
They just got on the setup sheet a little bit ago. So they had to lie on their setup sheets because you wouldn't run something if you didn't have something else.
Or available,
Yeah. So
they're testing it. I know Techno puts a lot into lengthy testing of their stuff before they drop it. So they definitely wanted to make sure that those were working and something that they wanted to put out that their pros were happy with before adding that, and that's understandable within the racing scene, 100%. I bet everybody's doing that with every brand. That stuff still happens, but I was more so talking like it was just way different when I started, late 90s, early 2000s, just like the racing was way more dirty. People just weren't friendly, like people hated me when I came up, I had the Don't Cry Tebo nickname for a long time when I was young because I was battling for wins at 12, 13. People didn't like it. When we would do driver intros, it was mainly like Jeremy Korch was a guy that always tried intimidating me. So he would like be super mean, say mean stuff, like try to get me all upset. And like sometimes he would make me literally cry
during driver introductions, and that's kind of how I got that nickname from. I think Dagani gave it to me.
Well, that
they're trying to, make me not race good. But what they didn't realize was when I was like angry, mad, upset, I raced the best. So they kind of created a monster with that one. But
nice.
it was just different. Like the racing was so much more brutal, and people didn't share any information, and more people cheated and stuff like that. And now it's super open, and I would say there's no one trying to cheat or do anything like that. And even the racing's super clean. Everyone's pretty darn respectful of each other. It's tough when you have like 39 cars in a main at these races now, and in the mid to back it gets just complete chaos. But it's just different. And I didn't mean anything bad with what I said where it's too open. It's just people rely a little bit too much on other people helping them right now in RC, to where sometimes, man, you got to figure your own crap out and just like figure it out.
And most of the time, some pro's setup sheet isn't going to help you. You got to figure out your own stuff.
That's what I was just about to say. In racing, it doesn't matter what form of racing you're in. You can only go so far on other people's information. You have to have a little bit of your own nuance because you drive differently than other people. Your car is different than other people, the way you build it, whatever.
Yeah.
And you have to have a little bit of something different from everybody else. You can only get to a point where it makes sense to keep asking. And I think someone said something about this in the comments, but I bet this rubs you the wrong way. It's one of my pet peeves. It's like, don't ask me something if you don't want the answer, right? Like come up and ask, hey, Jared, what do you got in your diffs? You say 7, 10, 5, whatever. And they go back and put fucking 10, 3, 1. It's like, why did you even ask, right? It's like, either you got to, and that's another thing. We've talked about this on the show before. If you're going to do a setup sheet of somebody, you can't pick and choose what you put on your car from that setup sheet. You have to put that entire setup on your car.
Yeah. And that's super important, because there's certain really key things. And it's so funny when people are like, oh man, I tried your setup, or like, oh, I have your setup on, and I'm like, oh, you do? Okay, like what piston you have? Oh, that's not my piston,
right?
And it's like, well, like
I did everything else.
My wheelbase is the same. Like, oh, okay. And like they're like, oh, I tried your setup, it was garbage, but I didn't put that caster on or your bump steer, and like my rad height was different, and like I ran these different springs. I'm like, okay, cool. So you tried.
Yeah, this conversation's over.
Yeah,
makes zero sense.
Yeah.
We have roughly 10 minutes left, or 10, 15 minutes left. Now's the time for you to throw out your cupcake trivia questions so we can give somebody something. We love giving stuff away on this show. So
all right, this will be a little easier. What was my first big race win, and who did I battle to get that win from?
First person that we see on it doesn't matter what comments, Facebook or YouTube. If we see it, the first person, I'm sorry if you come in before them. It is what it is. Don't bitch.
We're going to do our best.
Yeah. So what's the question again? First,
the first big race win that I ever won in RC. What race was that? And who did I battle to get that one?
It had to be with a Traxxas Slash.
So was this a national win? Was this
not a national championship, but like a national size race?
All right. So
what vehicle was it in? I'm just trying to make it a little easier. Gas truck.
Yeah.
First big gas truck race win.
Right here.
The very
don't put the name placard on the screen because that'll be a dead giveaway.
Eric Lundvall says
probably won't be able to read it anyways.
Okay.
No, you can't read that.
There's the trophy.
So Eric
Lundvall, that's back when they used to make trophies out of wood.
Good trophy right there.
That is a nice trophy.
All right, so we got an Adam, we got a Brian Kinwald, we got Silver State, we got DNC, Adam Drake, battle with Pavidis, Kyosho for sure, Tessman at the DNC.
Tessman?
He wasn't even born yet. Damn.
You gotta try a little harder. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
What kind of people are watching this show? No one's got any freaking RC history here.
Well, we got Levi Jackson, Notch Johnson, Drew Singer. I mean, there's some dudes in here.
Guys. The guy that I battled is retired, and he just raced a vintage race.
Oh, Matt Francis.
Ooh, Matt Francis. Yeah, I'm gonna have some red
Francis
car with some yellow checkers on it.
7 Breedy race. Do I win?
No.
Saxton still races, Scott. He smokes everybody in 40 plus.
Yeah. Come on, Scott.
Man, all my questions are too hard. Jeez.
Your questions are hard, man.
Okay.
They're good. They're good questions.
The problem is you won so many races that people have to like go through the history books to find this stuff.
All right. I
You
want
can be
to
like-
be a cool one. I don't know. It's
That is a cool one.
supposed to be trivia. Okay.
04
was
truck nats.
What was my first ever 8-scale race that I ever did?
Oh,
What
wow.
year and what race?
Well, Notch Johnson on the last question said Cactus Francis.
No, it was Gas Truck,
Okay.
not Cactus Classic. It
And,
was Matt Francis.
Okay, so
It
we got
was
Matt
Matt
Francis, gas
Yeah.
truck.
But that
Now we
question's
just-
done. We've already moved on. Everybody move on. That race is that question's over. We're on a new one. What was Jared Tebo's first 8th scale race? Come on. 2000 St. Louis 1/8. No, that can't be. That's way too late, right?
I was
2000?
close.
Oh, I would have thought
The
that
year
would
was correct and the state was correct.
Oh,
Ooh.
shit. Tim Wallace Motorsports he's hitting all around it.
Yeah, he's close.
Rolling bomb.
Close.
Or was it Freedom
went to-
Hill
I
in
know which body I was
2000?
Him.
Now you're getting a signed Tebow body and a T-shirt of your choice from JTP. So this
He
is a big
says
one.
2000 Freedom Hill.
That answered the first question, but you took that question away.
Oh, sorry.
2000 Freedom Hill Kyosho Challenge was my first win.
Well,
Wow.
Battled Matt Francis.
sorry, Tim. We've moved on. We are now on first 8th scale race for Jared Tebo
Yeah,
we're-
first 8-scale race ever.
ever.
It was a national caliber event.
Ooh. This is before my time, so I've got nothing.
And it was in 2000.
Wow, he's giving you guys the answer. Will
There's a
somebody
lot
please
of-
answer this? We
I don't know. I
really
want to.
I
If
finished
anybody wants to
second
know,
place. I finished
anybody-
second place.
nice.
you gonna finish your statement, Chase? You
I was
tried
going to
to-
say if anybody cares about my first 8-scale race,
No,
I showed
no,
up to
no.
Revelation Raceway in like 2004. And I was like, man, this is cool. And I'm pretty sure it was Mike Acero. He was like, hey, you think this is cool? I got this car you could buy for $400 and race tonight. And I was like, hell yeah. And that's how I started racing 8-scale.
What was it?
It was, I think it was a Mugen or something, some old Mugen.
That makes complete sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, I would have guessed that.
Yeah. I saw
Dro-
8-scale for the first time and raced for the first time on the same day.
Droid Smith says 2000 Roar Nationals in Pleasant Hill.
Yep. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Did that first though.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Let's go back. Who was 2000?
I think I see Luke Schumacher.
Yes, you do. That is before Luke Schumacher coming in hot.
Yep.
All right.
Luke
Note him.
Schumacher, we need you to email us at what's the email, Chase?
Wheel and Trigger Podcast at gmail.com. All words.
If you don't email us, we don't give a shit if you get your product. That's on you. So Wheel and Trigger Podcast at gmail.com. Do not fuck that up. That is on you. We're going to send you, well, Jared's going to send you a signed body and a t-shirt of your choice. You need to go look at his website. Tell us what it is. Do the legwork. Please don't make us do any more work. We're already giving you a bunch of shit. Oh, and we'll need your address, Yeah, and we'll need your address to pass
Somebody,
on.
Levi Jackson mentioned Chad Bradley. Does anybody remember Chad Bradley being able to do 360s with his RC car off of doubles?
Yep, I do. I race prep. I used to
Dude,
see him do it. You know,
what is the secret to doing that? I want to learn how to do that. Whips are cool. Not a lot of people doing 360s.
Have you not seen? I post. Well, shoot, this is a long time ago, but I posted a pretty cool video of me driving a 2-wheel drive short course at a skate park, and I did a 360 over a box.
Nice.
Like,
I didn't see that, but that's cool.
I'll have to see if I can. I probably can't find
What's the trick to it, man? Because I want to start 360s when I win the B main somewhere at the dirt
you
Friday
can't
Night
do it on,
Lights.
like high grip.
Okay,
So it's just a bunch of brake, and it's just the way you come at it, and you have to just whip it up the face with the brake, basically.
Okay, 360s. That's my new bucket list trick with an RC car.
Yeah, you need rear wheel drive, so I would take a center drive shaft out of one of your techno toys that you take to the skate park.
Whoa, he just called your cars toys, dude. I don't know if that's an insult. I'm trying to figure out where we're going with this. He called it a toy.
Toy scale race machine.
There you go. That's what's up.
Oh, hey, while we got you, Jared. Now one of my early memories of, because I came to the party late, so I raced RC cars at a young age, and I took a huge break, 20 some years before I touched another RC car. When I got back into it, short course was really popular. 2-wheel drive especially was very popular. 4-wheel drive was starting to come before e-buggy took away all the 4-wheel drive short course. I saw like you had won, or 2-wheel drive short course probably started with tracks of slashes.
100%.
Right. And you were definitely racing them, because I saw you in videos and stuff as I was getting started back into the industry in the hobby. What is your opinion on what could be a new fad or maybe a mainstay of this 8-scale short course mania right now? What's your opinion?
I will say I loved racing 2-wheel drive short course. I absolutely loved it. It was so fun. You could bang more. You could set up passes. You could touch, especially when like 10 scale wasn't so high grip. That was such a fun class. Like me, Cavalieri, Mayfield had some of the best freaking races in 2-wheel drive mod short course. My experience with 4-wheel drive short course, I freaking hate driving them. But I only raced one race with the Techno, at an 8-scale ENATS when I did it. And I was like, man, this, is definitely not 2-wheel drive short course from what I remember. This new one, I don't know. They look super sweet. I think what has to happen is like, we can't ruin it with the tires. So if you want to have that class, you have to keep the tires that don't make a bunch of grip. I think for short course to be fun and drive the way it should, they need to slide around more, not be so hooked up to the track. And, the tires is a big thing. The tires is what's, in my opinion, ruined 10-scale racing, and what's, almost ruining 8-scale racing is the tire technology has gotten so good to where the cars have so much grip and the tracks always groove up. People are like, oh, the tracks used to be, it's like dirt hasn't changed. And it's just the tires have changed and the cars have changed, and that's changed the tracks a lot. So I don't know. For me, this new short course thing, I think super cool. I haven't built one or anything. Had a bunch of people ask me to build them. I just been too swamped with the builds. I've wanted to build some and kind of check it out and see. Just seeing the ones that have been built, I think they look awesome. I think the cool thing with RC is like you have two different sides of it. You have like the racing side, and then you have the building side, which there's people that like one more than the other. And, that brings two there's two aspects to it. And, I think, in RC, we still need, like, things need to look cool, and you need to be, like, think what you're building and you're spending your money on is cool. So I think a class like that to kind of take back the seriousness a little bit and bring a little bit more fun and things like that, I think would be nothing but a positive for sure.
I couldn't agree more.
100%. That thing is so fun to drive, dude.
Yeah, they look cool for sure. Yeah, I'd like to build one and have one. I need to. It's funny. Like, people are like, oh man, you must have so many RC cars and all this. And it's like, right now, I literally have 2 RC cars that are drivable. That is all I have. Just like my race nitro buggy and my race nitro truck. And,
nice.
I need to be able to have more things like that. So, like, I can take them to the skate park and whatever, things like that. Like my kids like bashing and stuff, but I don't know. I'm so on the racer side of RC that all I see is like, oh, it's just like another freaking car I have to make.
I'm the same way. I'm race.
Yeah, I feel you there.
Race on.
Like I've had 2 like cool ideas for videos. I had one when I was riding moto. We had a track nearby that built like a Red Bull straight rhythm. And I so wanted to have a video of, like, I knew the guy that prepped the track there and everything, and to have it prepped smoother and stuff to where I could do the straight rhythm with like my 8-scale buggy. And then I could do the straight rhythm like on my dirt bike.
Yeah.
Combine and do like a cool video. And then I want to do the same thing with like some mountain bike trails that I ride, like some big jump lines and stuff like that. Do it with the RC and then do it on the mountain bike. But
nice.
I just
a straight rhythm would be so cool as an exhibition race for RC.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see the timing. I mean, it'd be tough. Like, to do it right would be tough because it needs to be long. My plan was to be like in a side-by-side driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you need something carrying you along with it. So you can,
No, you do it like the dirt is so big. You could literally have it start left, go right, hit a berm, rhythm back, and then that's the finish line.
Yeah.
And you can go head to head, and that would be freaking awesome.
And they don't need to be super huge either, they could just be smaller.
Well, it has to be height and tech and everything to where you catch a downside. And I mean,
you can go super tack the first run and then turn and then big rhythm or something, or whatever. But that would be cool.
People are always like, oh man, how do you go faster? And it's like, it's in between all the obstacles.
Yeah.
That's where you pick up all your speed. And that was a cool thing I thought of the Red Bull straight rhythm with the dirt bikes was everyone was doing the same rhythm, but certain guys, the way you attack a takeoff, the way you catch a landing and all that, you could like visually see the gap.
Yeah.
The same way in RC, it'd be really cool. If you could see
for sure.
If you were to watch like a top pro versus a top intermediate, it would be a bigger difference than I think people would realize.
I agree.
That would be sweet. Go left to right because the dirt is huge. You could totally do that, and it would probably be like 30 seconds. I mean, not 30, but yeah, it would be a decent amount of time. It wouldn't be so fast. It would be over in an instant.
Long enough to where you could build a couple different things, but
you make it to where you can go back and do it twice. All right. We got one final question. I think it's a good question before we're going to let you go tonight. Our 2 hours is up, and we greatly appreciate you coming on and being a great sport about everything. All right, here is our last question, and it seems to be a little bit for each of us. What single vehicle do you have a soft spot for that no longer is made today, but you wish was? We'll start with you, Jared. It's a great question, by the way, Mr. Little Motor 414, who's been calling me out all night on the comments, and I have no idea why. Like, I don't know what you mean about me stealing stuff, but I just love you're getting active. So come on with it.
I mean, obviously I have a soft spot for gas truck, you know, just that's like what I cut my teeth in racing with, but you know, they're coming back. They're kind of still around. I love just two-wheel drive cars, like a rear motor two-wheel drive mod buggy. I think drives so fun, and I really miss that feel of how that car drives that you just don't have. Like nothing drives like that. And
yeah, back when mod buggy would pull wheelies on the straightaway, if you pulled too much.
The way that it would turn too, like the way that you would set your corner up with a rear motor versus like when we switched to mid motor, just the cars drove just completely different. So I would say a rear motor mod 2-wheel. You know, that's probably honestly like if I could just pick a car, like if you're like, oh, you have one day to drive an RC car and that's the last time you ever drove an RC car, I would pick a mod 2-wheel from 2011. And that would be my final day driving an RC car.
We, you know, just remember this, mark it down, and whenever that day comes, we want video of it.
Oh yeah, that has to happen.
All right, Chase, what is it for you, dude? What is the soft spot that you can that's no longer made, but you wish it was? What is the car or truck, whatever, RC vehicle?
Well, I mean, it's still kind of made, and it's that Grasshopper that's right above me because my dad built one when I was a little kid, and that's what got me sparked on RC. So that's the one.
I'm gonna follow the same route only because I feel like it's a nostalgic situation. I like the Tamiya Falcon only because it brings back great childhood memories. Not because it was fun to drive, because it definitely wasn't. I burnt my fucking hands so many times on that transistor on the back, that damn ceramic piece of whatever, dude. Like but I love that thing, man. It was such a good time of my life. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And just so that everyone knows, I don't care what this guy was, if he was mad at me or not, but it sounds like he wasn't. And I might even know him. I don't know the name Little Motor, but yes, I did talk about when I had the bodies behind me, Cole Ogden. I was supposed to send a body off, and we already told that story, but I kept it because it was so damn cool. So I guess I did steal. I in the grand scheme of things, I am a thief. So. Jared, man, thank you for spending the time with us, man. You're a great guest. Best of luck to you moving forward. I know you've got a lot going on with family and your business. I'll be in touch with you. We'll get that shirt ordered up and get you all the stuff from Mr. Luke Schumacher. Luke Schumacher, don't forget to email wheelandtriggerpodcast@gmail.com, all your information. But Jared, thank you very much for spending the night with us here and giving us some laughs and some great conversation.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me on, man. I've been waiting for the invite. Like, man, I guess they're just never gonna have me on this darn podcast. So yeah, I was happy to get it, and no problem. This was fun, and yeah, we'll see you guys at the next event we're all at. Appreciate it.
I'll see you at Nationals for sure. Chase, man, just keep on being Chase, bro.
Will do.
All right.
I'm shredding that DJ. I want some videos of you riding that DJ. I haven't seen any yet.
Oh, for sure. I got one on the baby line, but we're gonna step it up next time we go. That was actually my son.
Ride that place in San Diego. That looks fun.
Yeah, it's actually in Murrieta, which is very close to the dirt. So maybe DNC this year.
The place you always went to was in San Diego.
Yeah, dude, it's 20 minutes from the dirt.
Oh, okay.
So bring your DJ to DNC and we'll go ride it.
You know, it's funny. You know,
bring your. I mean, there's guys out there with short travel mountain bikes, so you could lock out your suspension and come hit some stuff.
You know, it's funny, Jared, is he says it's only 20 minutes from the dirt, but you got to remember that's without traffic. So it really means 7.3 hours to get from.
The freeway is not even 20 minutes. Like 4 stoplights there.
You're right. You're right. All right. Once you get on the road to the dirt, it's 20. It's 20 minutes.
That's awesome. All right, boys. So true. Appreciate everybody for listening. Like and subscribe, share our channel. We'd appreciate it very much. Go and support JTP, man. He's doing his best. He's got a great website, great products for sure.
JTP.com.
JTP.com.
We're here, shipping every day.
Visit our sponsors, OneUp Racing, J&T Bearing Co., Get Shit Done Coffee, RC Sign Up, Wolf Den RC, Racecraft, TZO, Beach RC, and then moving on to the big boys. Well, OneUp RC as well. Techno, ProMotion, Nitro Pro. We appreciate all you guys for being part of the show. We appreciate you, Jared. We appreciate you all for listening. We'll see you in 2 weeks. And we've already told you who the guest is. So enjoy the time waiting to talk to the one and only Keenan White.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Thanks for your time, Jared. Appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks, guys.